Every month, weird stuff happens in the world of gaming, and every month, we put together the weirdest stuff. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the weird gaming stories of July 2021. Starting off at number 10, a Ukrainian warehouse packed to the brim with thousands of PS4s, which was originally discovered and labeled a cryptocurrency farm, turned out to be a FIFA Ultimate Team bot farm. Now, I would say the first clue here is that the PlayStation 4 it's not really for mining cryptocurrency. I mean, it's not really a particularly powerful machine, and for what it is, it's certainly not cheap for that purpose. There was apparently 3,800 of these things in this warehouse, though, and it was found out that the point of this warehouse was actually to be farming coins for FIFA Ultimate Team. Now, FIFA coins, they suck. Every aspect about them sucks. So I completely get the hustle here, but EA Sports does a lot to crack down on it too, so if you decide that's the route you want to take, know that it could result in you getting banned from the game. Just keep that in mind, because there's obviously enough people that are doing this, that this is a lucrative business endeavor. At number 9, Tencent got a patent that deals with what you do with your digital assets once you die. Now, you don't actually really own anything when you're using an account from a video game service of some kind. You're actually simply agreeing to terms that license you to use those things. I guess that license functions as some kind of an asset, though, because Tencent apparently thinks you should be able to pass your account or digital goods or whatever along to friends or family when you die. This is obviously a grim thing to talk about, but it does actually kind of make sense. It's not like you aren't stuck going through a bunch of boxes of crap in a dead relative's house at some point. Now you're gonna have to do it with digital stuff too, unless of course they create a digital will, which, yeah, if you told people about this stuff 50 years ago, they would have looked at you like you were insane. Thankfully, I'm not that old, or anywhere nearly old enough to be thinking about who gets my digital goods and assets. Oh my god, we live in a dystopia. At number 8, since the pandemic has been going on, there's been chip shortages because factories haven't been going at full capacity for quite a while. I mean, a lot of them are now, but that doesn't change what happened over the last year. Newegg obviously runs lotteries for new high-profile items like a Nvidia RTX 3090 because these new graphics cards are obviously desirable, large features, the lotteries get people onto the site, you have a chance to get it at a overinflated price, even if it's a small chance, and some kid figured out how to get around it. Some 11-year-old from Florida figured out that you could do a custom build PC, delete all the components, and have an Nvidia RTX 3090 in your shopping cart and buy it from Newegg without doing the lottery. Now, they did fix this. This is not something you can still do, but that's pretty damn clever and exactly the type of thing that a kid who really wants something would do. Believe me, I've been that kid. Kids make the best white hat hackers. At number 7, Rockstar Games issued DMCA takedown notices for a bunch of mods for Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and Vice City. The one that got particular trouble was Grand Theft Auto Underground, which incorporated all of the 3D era maps, as in the non-Rage titles, as in the games that Rockstar and Take-Two both said to the modding community, it's fine if you do this kind of modding. This is why you need to understand that the people that own the stuff are the ones that make the real decisions, because, they might think that something is fine today, but it might not be fine tomorrow. They might have some other reason that they don't want you doing that. Maybe they're coming up with a product that might compete with that mod. You don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that these 3D era maps for a 16-year-old Grand Theft Auto game are, well, gone. I mean, let's be real, people will figure out how to do it anyway, but that sucks. At number 6, hey, did you know that due to environmental regulations, high-end gaming PCs are now banned in 6 US states? Yeah, an energy bill that went into effect recently actually makes it so that because of power consumption regulations, you cannot purchase one of these machines in one of these states. Hey, remember the last point when we were talking about how powerful people make all the decisions for you? It's also them who create all the air pollution. This is unfair because your gaming PC is not responsible responsible for anything substantial in terms of emissions. This is squeezing the consumer for something that is entirely in the hands of, again, the people who make decisions because they hold power. If you want to meaningfully reduce emissions, you are talking about manufacturing regulations, fuel and energy creation regulations, and stuff that has nothing to do with the computer you're running all those Skyrim mods on so it looks vaguely modern. I'll tell you what's weird about this story, that they think that we will accept them blaming us. No. At number 5, Tencent is going to implement a new facial recognition technology to stop kids from getting addicted to video games at night. So the system they're talking about is called Midnight Patrol. Essentially, it keeps tabs on minors' screen time in order to combat gaming addiction in younger players. Now, on its head, this sounds like it is not a bad thing. Yeah, we don't want kids getting totally addicted to video games. We want kids playing them. It's a great thing for kids to do. It helps develop brains, motor skills, etc. But we don't want them getting addicted to it. We don't want anybody getting addicted to anything. But the facial recognition thing kind of, it comes off as weird to me because I don't really like the idea that every single moment I'm playing a game, it is observing my face in order to record my identity. And, you know, they tend to use things like this as a backdoor to get things recognized as legitimate in order to observe and gather more information that they can sell to other companies or use. I don't like that. That's weird. At number 4, a Japanese retro gamer collector completed a collection of absolutely every single Nintendo Famicom cartridge ever released. Now, for people who don't know, the Famicom is the original Japanese version of the Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, the one without the hinge that wore out and screwed everything up? Yeah, that one. Now, there's over 1,000 games in this collection, and that couldn't have taken a small amount of time to put together, but as it turns out, it took a surprisingly small amount of money. He said the total cost of this entire collection was around $27,000, which, I mean, it's not a small amount of money. If I had that tomorrow, my life would be significantly easier, but he could probably sell that whole collection for a significantly higher price than that. At number 3, a Witcher fan won gold at the Tokyo Olympics. Now, there are obviously a lot of different fans of different franchises that compete at the Olympics. However, Vitalina Botskarishkina actually wears Witcher merch while competing. She has a Witcher medallion that she wears while competing in Olympic events. She actually won silver back in 2016, but obviously did better this year. It's just weird to see a Witcher medallion at a huge sporting event, that's all. At number 2, apparently Amazon's new MMO, New World, is bricking various Nvidia RTX 3090s, particularly the EVGA variant of it, which is apparently around $1,500. And Amazon tried to play it off like that wasn't something that was actually happening. Although, they released a hotfix for it, which, interesting. On top of that, EVGA has claimed that they will replace any graphics cards that were fried as a result of this, so it seems like they're actually being fried. It's weird that Amazon decided to claim that that is not the case, and yet is still changing the game based on this, and advising people to change settings. It's weird. Seems clear that it's a thing that they're trying to avoid getting in trouble for, to me. And finally, at number 1, this is just outright insane. It's super strange and super fascinating. So there's a game called War Thunder, which is basically like a tank MMO. And like one of its big selling points is accuracy in simulating the various tanks. And one player got really bent out of shape about the in-game modeling of the Challenger 2 tank, which is a UK tank that rolled out in 2019. The forum user arguing about this claims to be a tank commander and an actual UK military person who ended up leaking classified documents to prove that he was correct about the size of the gap between the main turret structure and the hull, and that War Thunder and its developers were not. Now, nobody's figured out who this guy is, but as it turns out, it's actually like a really big offense to do that, and he could go to jail for that if he's actually an armed services member for disseminating this information, and that's nuts. I mean, that is wild. That's all for today, though. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.